Hi, I'm Adam, and this is the final episode of Making Dollars and Cents at the box office. The galaxy was guarded once again as Arthur's sword got stuck in the stone and Amy Schumer didn't snatch up as much as she probably hoped. I don't think anyone is surprised that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 took the #1 spot again this week with a haul of $65 million that left everything else in another galaxy by at least $45 million. But enough about Guardians, since I could probably talk about it all day. Let's take a look at the movies that it completely destroyed at the box office this past weekend. Snatch took the #2 spot this weekend with just under $20 million, and the reviews were as lukewarm as a margarita that you left out in the sun for 2 hours. It was written by Katie Dippold, who wrote The Heat and a few episodes of Parks and Rec, and it was directed by Jonathan Levine, who gave us 50/50, which was fantastic, so you'd think this movie would be better than it is. Granted, the premise alone isn't really that funny. It's about a mother and daughter duo who go to South America and then get kidnapped because they're no longer safe in the United States of white people. And Amy Schumer can't really hold her own in a comedy like this that lacks the heart of Trainwreck, as well as Judd Apatow's directing, and her whole "I'm not attractive, look how ugly I am, and also I like drinking" shtick runs dry after about 30 seconds. In a world where lady-led comedies are finally on the rise because women are funny, in case you're stuck in the past and didn't know this, it's just a shame that we have to sift through stuff like this instead of snatching it away before it hits theaters. King Arthur: The Legend of the Sword took the #3 spot this weekend with $15 million, and similarly lukewarm reviews as Snatched, with critics calling it fast and weird and nonsensical. Not to mention, it is a fool's errand to try to dethrone a movie as good and widely appealing as Guardians 2, especially with a weird experimental fantasy movie, and the week after Baby Groot swooped in and stole all of our hearts and made the mouse a ton of money. Looking ahead to this weekend, everything comes out to milk money out of The Fault in Our Stars teenage crowd. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul will attract families and repel literally everyone else, and Alien Covenant will either revive a well-loved franchise or disappoint millions. But unfortunately, we won't be covering it, as this is the final episode of Making Dollars and Cents before we put it to bed for a very long nap. It's been a fun journey this past year. We've grown a lot, both as consumers and creators of film, and we want to thank each and every one of you who followed this series for so long. Keep an eye out for all the exciting things we've got planned, because there are plenty. And one more thing, just because we're putting this series to rest doesn't mean we won't be seeing movies every weekend, and the same should go for you too. Movies are important for an abundance of reasons. They're an escapist break from the world's problems. They're a way for us to communicate thoughts and feelings that we otherwise don't have a way to communicate. But perhaps most importantly, they're a mirror for the world that we're living in. A platform to include the oppressed and the invisible until they're no longer seen as the other. A way to stand for something that is good and right. And a way to put new ideas into the minds and the hearts of everyone who watches them by just using images and light that might actually plant the seeds for a better world. So take a risk and go see a movie that you wouldn't normally see, because it could actually change your life. And with that said, for the final time, hit subscribe if you want to keep up with any of the future stuff we'll be doing. Like or comment if you have any last words for the series, and this has been Making Dollars and Cents at the box office. And cut.